Just the day before yesterday, Advocates Aguko Osman and Company sent a letter to the chairperson of the Orange Democratic Movement Party with the subject matter being motion for de-whipping and or expulsion of the Honorable Senator Edwin Sifuna from the Orange Democratic Movement Party membership. And here, those lawyers were acting on behalf of, under the instructions of Senator Eddy Oketch, the senator from Migori County, who listed several grounds and saying, you know, I feel that the Secretary General of the party has basically violated the party rules and all. Yesterday, the same lawyers wrote to the same organization, the leadership of the ODM, saying, we refer to the letter we sent yesterday, and now we have new instructions from our client that he says, cognizant of the breaches as outlined in our aforementioned letter, and to the offensive remarks made by the Honorable Senator Edwin Sifuna, both against the party and its members, our client has, in consultation with the party leader and the relevant party organs, been persuaded to withdraw the motion, the letter, and instead invoke Article 16(1)(g) of the party constitution, which vests the powers to facilitate amicable resolution of dispute through alternative dispute resolution mechanisms upon the party leader. So basically, Senator Oketch says, all right, so now I'm not going to pursue this. I leave it to the party organs to take it up. The question, though, is, has Senator Eddy Oketch changed his mind on what he felt about Edwin Sifuna a day earlier? He is our guest. Senator, good morning.
Good morning, bro.
Asante sana for joining
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll start off with a quote from Janet. Of course, you know the drill. You've been here before. The quote is some words that were said sometime by somebody. Yeah. And let's see whether they make any sense.
So, I was just laughing because his Happy New Year and, how his predisposition is really against a lot of what he's dealing with right now. But we'll get into it.
Well, Janet, we must never look like our troubles.
We must never look like our troubles. Thank you, Mariam. Patrick Kadhara, who is a Kenyan political cartoonist and commentator, once said, democracy isn't so much a system for electing rulers, it's a system for people ruling themselves. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
100%. Yeah.
Okay.
Because the social contract called government must always be about the people. And those checks and balances are what makes the democracy work. So it was always be about the people. And I think that even the conversation we're having this morning, the party is about the people. And sometimes the people who govern the party do forget, because it comes with grandeur, it comes with power, and sometimes people forget that it is actually the bosses of us who are the masses who put us in those positions, and then we forget and we get excited about that power and forget about the people.
So it's about the people. You don't, from your perspective, it's not personal.
It's
you don't
not
have
personal.
a personal vendetta or issue.
Absolutely. Even with Sifuna, remember, Sifuna is my colleague in Senate. And Sifuna and I sit, we are desk mate. If you are to go with the school terminology, we are desk mate. And since when we go to Parliament, we were both first timers in Senate, and there are serious wars that we have fought in that Senate with Sifuna, and he knows. But I feel that there's a bigger cause, there's a bigger calling that we all have. And that bigger calling is sometimes shelving your own personal ambition for the sake of the people. The party ODM, by the way, that today I even thought that we'll do courtesy and sing happy birthday to Baba Raila Amolo Odinga, because it is a sheer coincidence that I come here at his birthday. Right. Baba's dream could have been that this party becomes like a Democratic the Democratic Party in the US, or even the Republican Party in the US, which have gone through different iterations that are people-centered in different ideologies and are now 200 years political parties. We have just reached 20 years as a political party. The desire of Baba is that this thing could have gone as long as possible and give Kenya direction on building democracy. And Sifuna must now be in a situation where he must be honest to himself, not to us, the party members, not to even the political environment that is coming out right now, but to self. Democracy starts with self-conviction on some ideals. And the fight that you're fighting out in the party is very simple. Is there a difference between Sifuna the person and Sifuna the Secretary General? This is the question I was trying to bring by being able to question the utterances that Sifuna is putting in public and saying that those utterances represent what the party is. And we cannot be a party that when you have got different leaders then you change the party rules to fit those leaders.
Okay.
Party rules and party organ and party structures must remain what they are. That's when you can be able to sustain a party.
Let me look at your letter.
Yes.
Which is the basis of your complaints.
Yes.
And first of all, do the complaints still stand?
The complaints stand.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have not
It's just that I
withdrawn the
respect the
complaint.
party organs, which is actually, I wish Sifuna also the courage to do that. That if you've got grievances at the caliber of where we find ourselves in the party, that you are a leader in the party, then you need to bring these issues in the party organs and let the party organs deal with them. I brought the issues that I raised in those in that letter, and when they reach the party organs, one of the party organs is the party leadership, which has got very specific roles in our party constitution, reached out to me and guided me how I should handle these issues. And I respected it, despite the fact that I felt like maybe that could not be the best way to deal with this issue, given that it's now bringing confusion to members of the party. But still, it's the party organ. If they have asked you to deal with it in a different way that would enhance an opportunity for everybody to be heard in the party, including Sifuna himself, then you go that route.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these are the charges that you have
Yes.
on Edwin Sifuna, the Secretary General of the party, that you say on several dates, including 30th of December and 3rd of January, he has been holding the position of Party Secretary General, has treated the ODM party to blatant and arrogant violation of the party constitution,
Yes.
as read together with the Political Parties Act. You say, for example, that he has closely associated with the party's perceived opponent political parties while declaring himself as the Secretary General and spokesperson of the party. While in this process, he has, in his formal fashion, arrogantly bragged that the party cannot dictate his political association. Okay. The other charge, you say that he has on several occasions disowned publicly the party's agreement to work under the broad-based government, despite the existence of a written agreement duly endorsed by the party, which now reflects the party's position. By this, he has abrogated his duty as a member of the party. You also say that the said pronouncements and unilateral declarations, especially by someone who calls himself the Secretary General of the party, are a clear affront to the party's objects and articles of the party's constitution, which say that the party can enter into a coalition with political parties pursuing similar objectives in the Republic of Kenya. And then you say, thirdly, on those days, the member who holds a very respectable office within the party has made public remarks on confidential party affairs concerning the party's funding of the 2022 presidential campaigns, particularly the source of some funds and their dispatch. The revelation of such confidential information, which is considered an internal affair, greatly jeopardizes the party's image and public standing. It is a clear breach of his duty under articles of the Constitution, of the party constitution, which requires him to refrain from publishing or distributing information deemed to be confidential without the proper authority of the regular organ of the party. So you say that he has declared himself Waziri wa Sherehe and seemingly got lost in the Sherehe and no longer prioritizes the progress of the party. Clearly, there is urgent need for action to be taken to salvage the party from sinking in his ocean of ego and sea of arrogance, and to by immediately relieving him of his duties and allow him to concentrate on Sherehe as the party continues to build the nation.
So it starts off tan, tan, tan.
Then it goes
And then it gets a bit petty.
Yeah, Mr. Enjoyment.
A little bit, yeah. Minister of Enjoyment. Actually, that's it. Minister of Enjoyment, Waziri wa Sherehe. Let me start with number 3, which is he's disclosing confidential party matters, including sources of funding for the elections, etc. Are these not matters of public interest? We've just spent the last 1.5 hours discussing this with Saita Bao. And if indeed the claims are true, that, you know what, there was funding meant for agents that did not get to agents, that agent structures were essentially compromised, leading then to the bungling of the 2022 election, I think that's a matter of public importance, not just a party issue.
That's true. But the way I see it is a very simple way. The party has members. Just like in a nation here, you do have an institution, and that institution has got ways of operating. That membership of the party has established party organs with which to address every single thing. So for instance, if you went to an election in 2022, there's a Secretary General that you have that has got a mandate to actually audit all finances and assets of the party. 2022, 2023, there was an audited report that the person who oversaw that report was my Secretary General, that I've given my trust as a member of the party. I've given him the trust of myself and the public trust that establishes political parties. 2023, 2024, he did an audited report, okay? 2024, 2025, he did an audited report that he oversaw as the SG of the party.
So the 2022 one was also overseen by Edwin Sifuna?
All of them are being overseen by him because he's the Secretary General of the party. He's not just the spokesperson of the party. He's the governance instrument of the party together with the executive director of the party. When you do all this audit, leave alone even the public, me as your member, you are telling me things that you've never declared to me since election, in a funeral, or in a political rally somewhere, or in some sherehe somewhere that has got no party basis to be there. How do I take you seriously?
Okay. So why?
And is that fair? Would that be a position of the party or your individual position?
Right.
Because you need to be accountable to me as a member of the party, even whether you like me or not. Because in the party, people might have different opinions. For instance, this contentious opinion about broad-based government, right? You might have 70% of the party members supporting broad-based, or even 80%, right? And 20% don't support, right? It's a possibility. Or even vice versa. Worst case scenario that 20% are not supporting broad-based and 70% are supporting broad-based and 10% are not sure. As a Secretary General of the party, what is my duty? To speak for the 20% that are aligned with my morals or aligned with my belief on what this is? I think that as Secretary General of the party, I must speak to all these aspirations. I must speak to all these people. So in such cases as a contentious election that we have just come from, for you to make some utterances, and you're the Secretary General, they must be utterances that are able to be accountable utterances, and not accountable to yourself, but to the members who have trusted you with the party position. Yeah.
And I want to hold that thought because we'll come back to even what you had mentioned earlier, the difference between Edwin Sifuna, the Secretary General, Edwin Sifuna, just the man, and also the ODM party member, right? Because those can be three different people. But I want to hold on to this idea of like auditing the accounts post-2022. You say he oversaw the preparation of these audited accounts.
Yes.
For the party, or for ODM, or for Azimio?
Is entrusted, because he talks on behalf of the party, he is entrusted to be able to audit everything that ODM has ever gotten. Remember, if you're going to any coalition, and by the way, I've even heard that Sifuna talks about something like a presidential candidate in ODM as a contentious issue. If you've been in this country, ODM has never had a presidential candidate more than once. Because ODM was constituted in 2005. The only time ODM as a ticket had a presidential candidate was in 2007, if you follow the history. In 2013, ODM did not have a candidate in the ballot. We had a coalition called COD that had a candidate on the ballot. In 2017, ODM did not have a presidential candidate on the ballot. We had a coalition called NASA, that is what our members went and voted for. In 2022, ODM had a coalition called Azimio, meaning that ODM was a building block of a larger coalition. That then means that in that coalition, ODM accounts for its own affairs, for which we have got a Secretary General of the party to account that for us. And that accountability has not been made clear, right? Other than what Sifuna said on a funeral, or Sifuna keeps on saying in the public domain. And I feel like that kind of confusion is making it hard for our political party to stand strong in the middle of all this chaos that we are seeing right now. It just adds to the confusion. And for me, my analysis is very simple, and I think I shared it before here. If not here, maybe in another TV station. That I read what I will call excuse for mischief on the side of our party SG, and this mischief is too thronged. Well, with a lot of respect, there's nothing personal against Sifuna, but I think that Sifuna has found himself in this moral standing in the party because you have got the party position that is very critical, and therefore he can use it the way he wants for political survival, number one, or even for commercial survival. I might be tempted to say that because of these utterances that he's putting out there. And for me, the way I see it is that Sifuna has got all the avenues, the most powerful avenues than even some of us who are just party members or just members of the NEC, to be able to raise every single issue in the most critical organ of the party. If he fails to convince members of the critical organs of the party on some of the things that he believes in, and that organ of the party has made decision that this is the direction of the party, I believe that then he should be able to stand to that position.
Okay. Before we go to the advocates, then, withdrawing the motion to de-whip, because we'll get to that. And maybe you've alluded to this. Dialogue didn't work because you escalated this disciplinary matter, to the point where it's public, it's legal. It gives the idea that dialogue within the party is either dead or compromised. What happened that you chose to go this route?
I like that question because I believe that the reason why I escalated this issue is actually by virtue of believing in this party, just like any other member who might not be a politician, right? There are members of the party who might not be like Eddy Oketch, who is a senator, or who might not be even more privileged like Sifuna, who is not just a senator, but also a leader in the party. There is a member of the party somewhere in Todonyang in Turkana, or somewhere in Withdrawal in Migori, who might not have all these positions, but is a loyal member of the party, working very hard in the party every day to make the party popular on the ground and also solid on the ground. Maybe even more than I do by contribution. Maybe I contribute some money to the party every month. That there's an MCA who is also contributing the same amount of money, right? And that to that MCA, the fact that he does not have a voice in the party by virtue of position doesn't make him any less. So I believe that given what we have seen in the last 3 months, this scathing attack on your own party as an SG, I thought that maybe this dialogue has completely failed because we have got informal conversation in the party that are going on, just like any organization. We have got formal conversation that goes on. Then we have got public utterances for which I've gotten very disappointed on Sifuna, right? So when I bring them into the party and the party leader feels very strongly that there is still chance for dialogue, as Eddy, I cannot be a mad person and not listen to my party leader. I have to respect that. There is something that my party leader sees that is different from maybe what I see, and that, therefore, we must give that dialogue a continued chance. Okay. But even in that continued chance, I want to make it very, very clear, because we have got stake in this party just as any other person. Even in that dialogue chance to our party leader, it cannot be in perpetuity. It cannot keep on going like this for eternity. We are giving it ultimatum that in the next 1 week, if this cannot be resolved, then we must give party members a break. We must bring party members out of confusion. Senator. And we must have, we must be resolved, first of all, within ourselves, because that party dialogue includes possibility of even Sifuna dialoguing by himself and resigning. That's a part of dialogue. Okay?
Dialoguing by himself.
Yes. he can be able to call, because because let me tell you, how many instances has Sifuna gone into party organs, have a party decision that he himself authors, and then after authoring those party decisions, he goes and reads when Sifuna reads something as a party position, my dear, I take it seriously and I follow it, right? Then tomorrow, after I've followed that party position which he led me through, then he goes and bastardized me as a party member. How am I supposed to feel? For instance, he himself, as a whip of a deputy whip in the Senate, because I sit in the Senate, came to me personally, came to all our members in the Senate personally, and whipped all of us. He personally whipped all of us and convinced us that is not just a party position, but is a moral position that he holds dear as our whip to impeach Rigathi Gachagua on the basis that this guy is a tribalist, is making it impossible for the nation to stick together, to build a country that can work for Luos, can work for Kikuyus, can work for Ogieks, can work for everybody in this country. Therefore, he deserves being impeached. Then the next day, you see the dalliance between him and Rigathi in a public place that the same man who just said a day before, said utterances that are completely tribal. Even in that particular event, says tribal things about different people, calling people kehe, saying that kids who are coming from Turkana cannot learn in alliance. And then your party SG shows some dalliance with that kind of person. You are left confused because he forced you into a pack that was to deal with that kind of person.
I see
the same
confusion.
to broad-based government.
I see your confusion, Senator.
When
I'm wondering,
Yeah.
so why was dialogue not your first option?
Yeah.
Dialogue has been in the party. That's what I'm telling you. That dialogue has been
But
in the
dialogue,
party.
Your second instruction to your lawyers,
Yes.
after having a conversation with the party leader,
Yes.
goes into even quoting a section of the party constitution
Yes.
that goes with dialogue.
Yes.
Why didn't you go with that section of the constitution as your first option? That you'd like to urge the party leader to have dialogue with Edwin Sifuna on these grounds and on these allegations.
Thank you.
You wanted him to be expelled from the party.
Yes.
Why was that not your first option?
Because the way Sifuna has escalated matters in the party are not just about raising issues that are ideologically of importance. Initially, Sifuna, even when Baba was still alive, Sifuna was quoting his personal interest as an ideological issue. But then, in the recent past, Sifuna has been putting these issues to be issues of gross misconduct. I want to give you an example. If you are a member of ODM, I don't know whether you are, but if you're a member of ODM, Latif, and your SGs, despite whatever somebody has said about him, goes and calls a member of your party and a member of the Central Committee our washenzi in a situation where the people who have not been aligned with the ideology of our party are seated and cheering, and he says our washenzi and calls some member of your party washenzi, and you are a member of ODM. Do you take this as Sifuna's personal take or a party position?
That's very interesting because that was my next question.
Yeah. Is it a party position?
When is he speaking as
a party?
Edwin Sifuna?
Yes.
Does he
or
ever
as
have a
Secretary
personal
General?
position?
No, he qualifies it. He qualifies it after saying all this that he has said about individuals in the party, about the position on broad-based government, which he himself authored. Okay? He qualifies it that he speaks as a Secretary General. This is the confusion that I don't want, and that's why I'm saying that it's important that is now bordering a misconduct issue.
Right.
And that misconduct issue cannot be raised as a mere issue of dialogue, unless it's in the wisdom of the party leader, who then I must respect.
We have to take a break.
Yes.
It's 2 minutes to 9. Senator Eddy Oketch is our guest. He's the senator from Migori County, a member of the National Executive Committee of the ODM, and he has a case against the Secretary General of the party, which he has taken to the party leadership, and the party leadership has said, we are going to have a conversation with Sifuna. Now we are asking him, so what's your case against Sifuna? He will continue answering these questions in the next hour. Keep it here for that.
And of, I don't know.
It could go for. I know we're about to get back into conversation. Thought it might be important to just sample some feedback,
Yes.
Because some of it might be something that we direct to Senator Eddy Oketch. So somebody here, this is Eric Flash, is saying Sifuna had an issue with ODM working with UDA based on his allegiance to the party, but they want him to sing the song because they are being fed. So are you? So if you are a party with its manifesto, so I think they're saying if he has an issue and he's saying he has an issue, why should that be an issue to the party? If he's saying he has an issue with the allegiance to UDA. Somebody else here, Sami Odoyo. Senator, with all the noise you're making, is this a position of the party or your individual position? What is the difference between yourself and Edwin Sifuna? Bakari Sagna, is Senator Eddy Oketch expressing these concerns in his personal capacity as an ODM member, or is he representing the views of other party members? So that's coming up quite a bit.
Yeah.
I think we can continue to
For
sample
whom
some.
do you speak?
Yeah.
We'll sample more feedback. That might be a good place to
Yeah.
start.
Yes.
Eddie versus Edwin. Right?
No, it is actually Eddie. It hadn't even hit me.
Eddie claims that Edwin is speaking in his personal capacity and
Right.
confusing the members. Yes. But Eddie is also speaking now. Are you speaking in your personal capacity? Or are you speaking as a senator from Migori County? Or are you speaking as a member of NEC?
ODM or NEC, yeah.
These debates have been there for the last 3 months, to be specific. These escalated debates where you see banter being thrown among party members and between party leaders, right? And there are other leaders who have also raised a number of issues. I want to give a point in example. Senator Ososi, who is also a senator in the same house that I sit, and is also a deputy party leader, has raised a number of pertinent issues, including the agenda of the 10-point agenda in the party. Ask yourself, why hasn't Eddy Oketch raised any issue with regards to any other member of the party who has had a differing opinion? One is because ODM is a democratic party. We can have these conversations, okay? But number two is because the person I'm raising an issue about and the issues that he has talked against a number of times, I've spoken on my behalf as a member of the party, okay? He's speaking on my behalf, and therefore, by extension, on behalf of other party members who might not have a voice, including people I'm representing in Migori County. Even as
please draw the line.
Yes.
When Deputy Party Leader Godfrey Osotsi speaks,
Yes.
is he speaking on the behalf of the membership of the party?
Constitutionally, in our constitution, there are two people who can speak authoritatively as a voice of the party, okay? And on separate issues. That's why you see there's an invocation of Article 16 I of the Constitution of ODM. The voice of the party absolutely is SG of the party. But then there are contentious issues in the party, including things like coalition agreements in ODM, that the person who has got the ultimate power given by the constitution of ODM is the party leader, not even a deputy party leader. So when Sifuna speaks as an SG of the party, he actually speaks on behalf of me. Okay?
Okay.
And he actually speaks on behalf of many ODM party members in Migori County, where I come from, okay, that are also members of that party and don't have the same platform that I have. And in extension, he speaks on behalf of a number of party members who trusted me to put me in the neck of ODM.
Fair enough. And in fact, what you've just said was publicly said by the then party leader Raila Odinga.
Yes.
When he said, when Sifuna speaks, ODM has spoken.
Exactly.
And it was at a point when some members of ODM were again doing the same thing you're doing today, that saying, no, Sifuna should not be speaking the way he's speaking. Raila came out to say, Sifuna should speak the way he's speaking. When Sifuna speaks, it's ODM speaking. So why are you changing your position?
No,
that was said by the party leader.
Raila did not say Sifuna should speak the way he has been speaking in the last 3 months.
He didn't say how he should speak.
No,
he just said when he speaks,
he
speaks on behalf.
And this is the problem. This is the problem.
Yes.
So is that to say
there are issues that I feel very strongly.
Two things can't be true at the same time.
Yes.
Is it that every time Edwin Sifuna speaks, he's speaking on behalf of ODM? Are you saying that?
That's what he says. No. That's what Sifuna says. These issues that he holds dearly, right? And the statements that he makes, utterances that he makes outside there dearly, he makes them on behalf of the party.
What does the party constitution say?
Raila Amolo Odinga.
Does the party constitution say the same thing you're saying?
That the SG will speak on behalf of the party.
Very good. So
but what does the SG speak on behalf of the party? Is what the party has agreed on. Okay? Because that's why you've got organ structures and fundamentals of the party, which must live, right?
Correct.
When you go, let me just make this clear to you, Latif.
Okay, go ahead.
When we went into a coalition, into a relationship, a cooperation agreement with UDA, okay, there was a party process that people sat in. There were members of the party that might have even been against that kind of move. A few members might have been against. They expressed themselves in the organ of the party, which I would think, and Sifuna said this even in a different interview, that even himself, he wasn't pro some things that were being conversed in those meetings. But then a meeting was concluded, which is what Baba was referring to. A meeting was concluded, and it was made a decision that we must then go and into a cooperation agreement with UDA, which then gave birth to this broad-based government, isn't it? Yeah. So when Sifuna goes outside there, does he not have a moral obligation and a constitutional obligation to defend that which he committed us to? It does.
That is very well
Okay.
said. Now,
Yes.
I will remind you that at that moment,
Yes.
when Raila was standing out to castigate people and saying you should not silence Sifuna,
Yes.
he speaks for the party.
Yes.
It was exactly the same kind of things that he was saying even then. He was saying that the broad-based government is an agreement that has been reached by the two parties. Okay? We are not in a coalition with UDA. He has said that, and the party leader then reminded everybody, we are not in a coalition. This is not a coalition government. Okay? It's an agreement. Edwin Sifuna has gone ahead to say that the party has not said it will not field a candidate in the next election. And in a meeting that the leadership of the party held here at, what's that hotel called? A hotel near JKIA with a nice name.
4 points. I
No,
don't
no, no.
Sorry, okay, whichever.
Raila said, yes, you are saying that we are not going to have a candidate in this party. Who told you? Sifuna even reminded you. Baba asked you, who told you? That's what Sifuna has been saying. ODM must prepare itself for the next election. Okay? So these are the things that Sifuna has been saying. Sifuna has been talking about this, and our party will compete against this government in the next election. When people are saying, no, don't say that, Baba came and said, Sifuna is speaking for the party. You're saying that what Sifuna has been saying in the last 3 months is different. It's not.
It is very...
Principally, what Sifuna has been saying since Baba died is what Sifuna was saying before Baba died. Is there anything different?
You've read my letter. If Baba Raila Amolo Odinga was today alive, and my party SG has gone and called members washenzi, is it a party leader position? Is it a party position?
Did he say
wait, I'm just going to give you one by one, because
Washenzi as the Secretary General of ODM.
He said that when he speaks as the ODM Secretary General.
So what's the issue here?
Just
The issue is the Washenzi
just wait. He also went and said that everywhere where ODM has support, okay,
Yep.
they believe that this is a one-term government, which is a chant that has been propagated mostly by the Wamunyoro and the United Opposition side. Is that a party position?
I'd say yes.
Yeah.
When was it discussed at a party position?
According to even Oburu Oginga, who has said ODM must prepare itself for the next election. Even the deputy party leader said ODM must prepare itself for the next election. Why are you preparing yourself for an election?
It means
are you
one
preparing
term,
yourself for an election so that you vote
you
for?
lose.
I've just told you a factual basis, because me, I'm not into popular conversations. I am into a conversation that is about our people, given the history of our country and the history of our politics and the history of how we have gotten into coalition with different members.
True.
I've just told you here that ODM has been in 4 elections, has participated actively in 4 elections.
Yes.
Out of those 4 elections, only one did ODM ever fielded a candidate directly as ODM.
Yes.
I've told you that ODM in 2013 was in a coalition. I've told you that in 2017, ODM was in a coalition. And 2022, ODM was in a coalition. It was in a coalition after preparing for that election.
Yes.
So it's not different that in 2027, ODM is preparing for an election, which most likely it will also go to a coalition.
Yes.
And that coalition could also be the broad-based association as a coalition. It's a possibility. I'm not saying that this is a position of the party.
It's a
So
possibility.
when you go as an SG and explicitly put it on paper that is not the position, where was it discussed? We must give the party organ the chance to discuss everything as it dispensed with, right? And that's why I'm telling you that I've got a personal problem as a party member with misrepresentation of facts on the pretext that you hold a position that I've given you to hold.
Let me ask you
because
something.
then you misrepresent the entire party understanding of what is going on, and then what happens is that you bring confusion in the party.
Let me ask you.
And if you don't believe in it, the honorable thing to do is to resign.
Let me ask you. Now let's speak to the party member who is in Todonyang.
Yes.
And that other village in Migori. What did you say the village?
Even in Muthugik in Migori. Wothogik.
Wothogik.
Yes.
In Wothogik, in Migori,
Yes.
that ordinary ODM party member, what is the position of the party?
Yeah.
Is the party going to field a candidate in the next election? Is the party 2-term or 1-term?
Currently, the position of the party, as we have discussed, okay, and as Baba discussed, is that between now and 2027. By the way, this was reiterated even after Baba's burial, peace be upon his soul, when the organ of the party called Central Committee further met and affirmed this position. It's not non-factual. It's a fact. That was again read by Sifuna.
Yes.
That between now and 2027, we must be obsessed as a party with the dire situation of our people economically. Okay? And that dire obsession with the issues of improving the life of our people must be attained by being in a broad-based government arrangement. So when you say something like you don't recognize the broad-based government and you're speaking on my behalf as a party secretary general, it's abusive to me.
The position
because
is 2-term.
that position. Wait.
My question is not.
The position
my
of,
question is not whether to the person in that village.
Yes.
The ODM is in broad-based.
Yes.
My question is whether ODM is going to prepare for 1-term or for 2-term. You know what that means? Is ODM supporting William Ruto's re-election, or is ODM preparing to field a candidate in the next election? It is a simple, direct yes or no, 1-term or 2-term.
Right now, there are members of the party that support, because I have to hold Sifuna to the same moral authorities that I also have subject myself to. There are members of the party, and in my view, there are many of them, a bigger percentage, that are convinced that given what we have been able to achieve so far, and we could be able to achieve together in this broad-based government towards 2027, we will be forming a formal agreement with the current government of the day to go into a coalition together. The form and nature and the stature and whatever we negotiated in that is not up to me. There's party organs to go to that.
That's individual members.
Right? But that is what I'm telling you.
What's the position of the party?
party position.
That party position will be established by party organs. I'm telling you.
So far,
yes.
Because you see, the NEC, the Central Management Committee of the party, has met even after Raila's demise.
Yes.
And talked about what shall happen.
Yes.
Even before Raila was taken ill, he met with the leadership of the party, where he was asking, who told you, right? Before Raila died, was the position that ODM is going to field to prepare for the 2027 election. After Raila died, is the position of the party that it's going to prepare for the next election.
And I'm giving the position of the party as has consistently been given by Raila Amolo Odinga and by any other person, okay?
Not by any other person. I want the official position of the party.
The official position
because
of the party.
what you're saying is that Sifuna has not been speaking
On behalf
of the official position of the party.
He's been contradicting.
So I want you to tell me the official position. Official position
I say
that Sifuna has been contradicting.
Sifuna has been reading for us the official position of the party and then negating it the next day, speaking from the two part of the mouth. And that's why I said there is a political survival interest and probably even a commercial interest.
So
that if one has to go there, I could
hold on,
because I am also privy to some very serious information.
Hold on, let's not go around it.
Yes.
Sifuna, one of the accusations is that he is saying we are going to remove the current administration from office.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And you're saying that is not the position of the party.
Yes.
What is the official position of ODM as regards 2027 general election?
Eric, I want you to be fair. And the fairness is this.
Just answer the question.
The conversation stops at is what Sifuna has said position of party or not. I am not the spokesman of the party. If Sifuna is saying that we are going to remove the current administration, absolutely from all party, support basis, is that the position of the party?
I'm asking you.
And I'm telling you it's not. Because
so there's
nowhere there's nowhere the party organ sat and discussed a one-term agenda.
So are you saying
there is nowhere the party sat and discussed a two-term agenda.
Is it fair to
Eddie.
say that you're still trying to
Then-
Are
understand
you saying
position?
the
Then
party
how-
has no position?
The party has got a very clear position.
What
And
is the position?
The position of the party is we are in broad-based government and implementing the things that we agreed on broad-based government to serve the people of Kenya. And by the way, it's two-pronged. It's both on development matters that we can give you a scorecard where we have reached with this. There's a paper that is guiding this called the 10-point agenda. Different members of the party might have different scorecards. I have a scorecard of about 50% that
If
has
the
been
party
achieved.
doesn't have a
right?
position on one term or two term, that's yet to be determined, then what is Edwin Sifuna contradicting essentially?
Yeah, if there's no current stand.
Yeah, if there's no current stand, what is he contradicting?
I have told you, when you are in a coalition, a post-coalition agreement, and implementing what is seen as what would bring economic merit to the people and inclusion to the people of Kenya, because some of these party bases, you know, the reason why I've got a big problem even with Sifuna is simplifying this issue, because it's an intricate issue for some of the bases that were never even involved in some of the national cake, benefits from government. And right now, there's a proper inclusion of these people from all possible angles by this so-called broad-based government. Okay, for you to bastardize that, right, is a problem, because I'm telling you
What's
that
the other way of
the
thinking
coalition,
about
the
that
coalition. Just wait. Right now, we've got a cooperation agreement. Okay, and I'm telling you that based on the development that we are having currently, there is a swath number of members of the party, a bigger number of the party, that are convinced that we are going to go into a coalition agreement. Has this been ratified or not? It hasn't. But it's going to be ratified should the meeting happen anytime this year to be able to establish that position that you want of a formal coalition.
I think that
right?
would have actually been answered also when the party leader,
Yes.
Odinga, remember when he said, as we want, deputy?
Yes.
I feel
Yes.
like
Exactly.
it's already shaping.
Yes.
So it could have been a
So
simple
because
answer.
it's shaping, I can say whatever I think that are possibilities, because that will be possibilities, isn't it?
You know the other way to
Another
think
party
about this,
member, just a
Senator?
moment, can say whatever they think is a possibility, but not Sifuna, because the SG of the party. When he speaks with finality.
Okay.
That's the bone of contention here.
That's fair. That's the bone of contention. He speaks as SG of the party.
Let me ask you a question because it has just come on my mind.
Let me
Just
finish.
let me ask, and then you can combine it together.
Okay.
Sifuna has said with finality that the party position is a one-term position. True. He has said that, isn't it? What if tomorrow the party sits together, okay, and decides, which I think that's the direction of the party that we are going to right now, decides that we are going into a coalition and supporting President William Ruto.
He'll speak
It's
that
democracy.
position.
Where does this leave him?
He'll speak that position now.
Yeah.
No, but that's what he has been doing by speaking the position and going out there and bastardizing party members. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
He
When you
speaks this
say
position and bastardize party members. Not fair
Bastardizing party members. And
Yes.
you've even spoken about the fact that ODM is in broad-based and you've been able to gain an immense amount of things, from the broad-based and all of that.
Yes.
Another, what goes through my mind when I hear that is, it's our turn to eat. Edwin Sifuna is compromising our eating time, essentially. when he's like one term, anachoma, anatuharibia.
No, that would be very simplistic.
It's,
You know why it is simplistic, my dear? Let me tell you.
things are not always that
Let me tell you,
complicated.
Where you are seated here today,
back to the-
here today, Janet, you're a Kenyan. You're paying taxes to the Kenyan government. Okay? It has been time without number in this country that people pay taxes to the regime of the day and don't get the services that they do deserve. Okay? This is the rot that Raila Amolo Odinga sought to correct when he came with this broad-based government. And when I say that right now there is inclusion, remember this party called ODM is the party that we can say for a fact that has given voice to the minority communities in this country more than ever since independence.
Is
And
inclusion as a favor real inclusion?
It's not a favor.
It is
It's not a favor.
If
It
you're
is-
saying
it is-
it's because of being in broad-based that suddenly you're included in conversations, suddenly regions are getting development, and we've seen it happen. It's a fact, right?
Yes.
There's a lot more goodies being dished out. Everywhere the president goes, things are happening. That's fine. But that is a favor, essentially, and it is a factor of you being
You
in
can't-
broad-based, not as a service,
You
as a
can't- you
taxpayer
can't-
that you
can't
deserve.
call the responsibility of government a favor.
It's
a
not.
duty. It's a duty for President Ruto.
If it's a duty, why isn't it being done, and why isn't ODM pushing it for it to be done properly, as opposed to being done as a favor only for you being in broad-based?
But that's what I'm
Because
telling
for those of us who are not in broad-based, then that means we don't get anything. So that the problem still exists. You have not fixed the problem. You have put yourself in proximity to power so that you can benefit like everyone else. Which is why I'm saying the real issue with Edwin Sifuna here is that he is compromising your time to eat. Not that it's any ideological big deal.
So can I answer?
Yes.
We can go factually.
Yeah.
Let's not speak what seems to be popular and nice to say. We can go factually to every single region in this country that has had serious development initiatives that are happening in this country. Where Sifuna comes from, because nowadays even speaks more as into this lawyer community and that kind of conversation, which is wrong, because it's a figure that I should talk about nationally. Mm-hmm. Every single region in this country has got government projects and development projects going on, and it's not a favor being done to those regions. It's just that in the past we have had previous governments concentrating projects that are done by government in particular regions and not others. Mm-hmm. Okay? This is a fact. We have been in this country all together. Mm-hmm. So when those things are happening in Luyaland, you can't say that now Luyas are being favored. When those things are happening, by the way, even if you look at the structure of government right now, right? People might want to exclude or isolate the central Kenya and Mount Kenya region. Okay? And say that, because Mount Kenya region is not perhaps in broad base, which we have just said, therefore they're not getting some development or their fair share of what they deserve. Today in government, central Kenya has got more ministers than any other region. And nobody is profiling central Kenya that because they're not the leaders in Mount Kenya are not in broad based.
No, someone shouldn't get development.
Yes,
I am saying the problem here is not that certain regions are now getting development. That should be the case. Mm-hmm. Everyone in Kenya should be able to get development, should be able to get goodies, roads, favors, whatever, regardless of party position, regardless of affiliation, regardless of being in broad-based or not.
Senator,
so when you say that, you know what, Azimio is in broad-based and we have reaped and the party SG is compromising this.
Senator, I think
it's incredibly, it's an undoing
you
for
know
the
what
people
Mariam
of
is
Kenya.
saying, because I think we've also hosted people here who have inadvertently said it's because of my proximity to the president that I think it was a woman. Right? Before said many people.
It was Gathoni Wamushomba.
Yes, there was somebody else, but she basically said
Milia Dhiambo. It's so many people.
So it's hard to deny that. It's hard to deny it. It's hard to say that's not the case. But I do want us to see if we can move forward, because my whole thing is, so how does this end? What is the resolution? It also, did the party leader, is he the one who's pushed for there to be an internal resolution to what seems to be a growing rift?
Right.
Because what happens next? Now it seems that you're at different sides of the coin. We've seen also Milio Dhiambo, Otiende Amolo, all of whom are saying we need to do away with this public disagreements.
Yes.
You know, it's painting a bad picture on ODM.
Yes.
So what happens now, Senator? You have withdrawn the motion, but you still hold the view that the Secretary General is not representing the party and its members. He's saying, I said what I said.
Right.
What happens?
Right. And you also mentioned that you think there's other interests at play. You said, you know, whether it's political expediency or financial interests at play here.
Yeah, I can tell you for a fact. There are three things that have been raised here, and you know, as a member of ODM, who has come to the party for the first time and got elected for the first time, there are aspirations of people that you represent. Okay, and that aspiration is basically to deal with poverty and to deal with anything that robs people dignity. You know, among them freedom, among them, human rights, among them economic merit and all the kind of things. And I think that when the government of the day is not attaining those kind of things, and then you push the government of the day, whether through coalition or through any kind of advocacy, and the government of the day is now responding to those kind of things, you can't belittle them into goodies. It is a responsibility, it's duty, which must be appreciated that the government of the day is actually meeting its responsibility by ensuring equity and equality across Kenya. This is what I'm trying to say, and we cannot keep on putting it or belittling it into an issue that, oh, now because you are now you can now be able to get roads on your place, this is now not duty by government, this is goodies. No, it's not. It is responsibility that the government must do for us, and it is responsibility that they must do to the people of Central, the people of Turkana, and everybody else in the country. That's what I want to make very clear. Then the second thing is, when Honorable Senator Oburu Odinga called me and guided that we follow a channel that is evoked under Article 16 of the Constitution. This channel includes actually even having a conversation, a larger conversation, because it seems that the SG has always been in conversations with a smaller group of people, which we call the Central Committee. Despite the fact that it has been charged by the affairs of dealing with ODM issues on a day-to-day basis, it is a small community relative to the committee called the NEC, right? So if the party leader sees it fit, which I think that this will be the natural course of event, will be perhaps to convene the NEC, because the NEC makes some decision by finality, okay? And where the NEC has made a decision, you can go to NGC and then you can go to NDC, right? Because these are the organs of the party. Mm-hmm. But the idea here is, this is not the way the party leader sees it, and the way I also see it, that whatever I raised was not a personal issue with Sifuna. It is a party position issue with Sifuna, that there is a way the SG of the party must speak, even where you are convinced that you are not supporting some agenda or anything. You must speak in a way that unites all the voices and takes the interest of everybody in the party. And that's why, in the wisdom of the party leader Raila Amolo Odinga then, he always, when these kind of contentious issues, Raila will not speak without having put all the party organs in check, including even possibly demanding for something like a PG, where if you're not convinced that the NEC alone, that sometimes a mix-up of different people who might not be the reps of the people in parliament, you then convene even a PG. Remember when we were going to do the broad-based arrangement, a PG was convened. There are voices that voiced and said that we are not convinced that this is the right direction to go. And then there are voices that say that this is a good place to go. By the time the SG of ODM was communicating this, there were communications that people had got different positions. But once the party position had been taken, we confuse the people if you don't stick to that party position. Once the party position has been taken, that the best way to equalize Kenya, the best way to have a steady environment in the country, to avoid violence, to avoid deaths, to avoid all these bad things that were happening in our country in the mix of, in the wake of the Gen Z protests, and even as a mere protest, even the Sufria movement that Sifuna was in, the best way that the party agreed that we must move forward is some form of cooperation in broad-based, then you must support it and give it water. How do you go and take a party member of yours like Agnes Zani, for instance, Gabriel Oguda is a party member of ours, you as SG, you take him and go and commit him to a committee that is going to look at issues like compensation, issues as the report of NADCO. Then once you've read and say that these are the people we are going to go with into this arrangement, you go at the back and start bastardizing them.
How?
Is that fair?
But how?
I don't want to go into details because I have raised all those issues.
I hear.
And I don't want to prosecute Sifuna on the media. It's not fair.
You quote several issues. You even quote meetings. A meeting, for example, a funeral meeting of the father of the MP for Embakasi Chikakuya.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Sifuna is a senator for Nairobi.
Yes.
I mean, he's attending there as he's supporting his fellow legislator from Nairobi.
Yes.
But you have a problem because the funeral is happening in Murang'a, and other people who are present include Kinagashagwa. You have a problem with Sifuna being in the same. So you're saying Sifuna should not have gone for that funeral?
Did I say I have a problem with going to the funeral? I said...
When you say fraternizing with party opponents being one of the charges, so to say, what do you mean by fraternizing with party opponents?
And who are opponents
I gave you very specific examples of utterances that he did not say as Sifuna. If you qualified and
I'm
said...
asking fraternizing with party opponents, the first charge.
Go and read, go and watch the entire speech of Sifuna in that funeral, if you didn't get to watch it. The speech was very committal. It was not just a speech that was out of the blues. It was a committal.
Speaking is not fraternizing. Also, what is a party opponent, like Latev has asked? Speaking on a podium at a funeral is not fraternizing with someone. I come to Janet's birthday, I am seen there, and then Latif is my opponent for some reason. I'm told I was fraternizing with Latif. It's not.
I've said, go and watch the speech if you didn't get the opportunity to watch it. Okay. Because Sifuna said committed staff, right, to the united opposition. He said very, very committed language, right? In everything that he said, it was a commitment to the other side that we are not with in any kind of arrangement. And I don't have a problem with that because we are a democratic country. Sifuna can choose that path. The only thing that he cannot do is to confuse our members that is the position of the party. I don't know if they're getting the fundamental issue here, is that the fundamentals of the party must remain, which is a decisions of the party in a public gathering or in a private gathering must be taken within the organs of the party. And once they are communicated, must be committed to. Okay. And it's not only something that political parties do, it is even what organizations do. A CEO can take an agenda in a board, let's say even nation, you take an agenda in the board, and the board members feel very strongly that you're one voice, like Sifuna right now is a one voice in the party, really.
It's standard operating procedure.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
So that's what we are insisting on, because this is what is breaking our party.
You mentioned also that the question of interest. You said, you know what, this is his political, economic interest as well.
Yes.
Him going against the, I don't know what to call it, party stand.
Yes.
Yeah, the lack of party stand, whatever it is. Yeah.
And I told you, I will not be little to go and prosecute Sifuna on a media platform, because that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying just to care about our members in the party who might not have a voice to say what they believe in, and they believe that their voice is best represented in the party organs like the Central Committee and other places. But this political interest that I see is what Sifuna himself has portrayed, not what I'm thinking in my head. And I think the political side and the commercial side, even the commercial side, he spoke about these commercial things, right? Like, and he said them in the lugha ya mtaa that ukipata sponsor, ukipata a new sponsor, don't forget the one who took you from. I mean, it's
speaking about Junet Mohammed.
Just listen. It's not derogatory. Even in the persona of Raila Amolo Odinga, right? To bring an insinuation, leave alone even a factual element, that there is some kind of commercialization of the ODM party. Okay? I want to get how this is sensitive, because let me tell you something, Latif. And I'm going to say this this year, but I wouldn't even have gone this direction if Sifuna did not take me there, right? Because I think there's many things that were injurious to the values, the virtues, the ideologies of the party, and Sifuna is enjoying hiding on the same ideology to actually cripple this party. You know, the time that we were signing the deal, the cooperation with UDA, right, in KICC. And I'm going to mention names here because now you want some facts, right? And sorry for people I'm going to mention. They will deal with it. People claim that they had a relationship with Raila, and I've avoided that because different people had different intimate relationship with Raila. Okay, very, very deep issues that Raila could discuss with different individuals, depending on how perhaps you are showing up. In terms of your genuine commitment to the party. And my relationship with Raila is not one that I'll discuss here. But when this discussion was being talked about in KICC, Raila called me in. Okay? I found him on a call with Arun Cheriot. And Raila was actually quarreling Arun Cheriot and telling Edwin that whatever we are signing in terms of this broad-based cooperation is not a signing of any kind of commercial thing, that you, Arun Cheriot, you can think that you can reach out to members of my party and try to give them some tokens in terms of financial incentives to sign this thing. And I can tell you for a fact that even Sifuna himself had been reached out by Arun Cheriot which is why Baba was mad, given some incentive, financial incentive, I don't know whether it was a deposit or not, to be able to participate in that signing. And Baba was grossly mad about that particular incident. I know this for a fact, and I cannot say lies in any way. That's why I'm telling you that there is need to sit down in the organs of the party and discuss some of these issues in a very serious way.
Let me get some.
So those commercial interests that people are going to use to bastardize the party, and then there's political interest, which I think this is what has been showing up on the side of Sifuna, which is a Nairobi survival politics, because we know urban areas. In urban areas, the service agency is different from rural areas. Sifuna is a Nairobi politician, and I understand that. He has to play survival politics, but I think it will be larger when he understands that this party had got values that were supposed to fight for everybody in this country, and he has been given a very difficult responsibility. And in that responsibility, he must be very cautious, never to allow that his political survival in Nairobi, which we all understand, and that's why I call it dalliance with the other side, right? That his political survival in Nairobi must then supersede the survival of this party. This is the party that Raila Amolo Odinga built with blood and sweat that we must protect by all means possible. And that's why some of us have now come out to make sure that, and let me tell you, by the way, you asked me a very simple question. What next? That's what Janet asked me in the party. I can go and lose my case against Sifuna in the party. That's fine. But I want to be on record that the party fundamentals, in terms of structure, the working of its organs, the trust it has with the people, and even after interacting with Raila a number of times, in his lowest moments, which is sometimes, if the time allow me, I'll even share with you some, is in his lowest moment trying to build this party to work for the people, must stand.
I want to ask a question before we sample some of the comments that are coming in. You've talked about commercialization and commercial interests being at play in various stages of the party, and it's an unfortunate thing. The governor for Siaya, James Orengo, has actually also come out to say that he is aware of some members of ODM who are fraternizing with others in other political parties for commercial interests, that there is money changing hands. Have you heard him say that?
Orengo, no, I haven't heard him say that.
Okay, you will hear it.
Yes.
I'll share it with you after
Yes,
this.
you can share with me that.
So,
but even if he says that, we are in the same wavelength. That there could be in a certain instances that they, and I'm telling you this in this point in time, the case of Sifuna, that political survival interest and commercial interest can supersede the interest of protecting the party for some individuals, right? And that is what we, as people who believe in the dream that Raila Amolo Odinga shared with us, a time without number, in different instances, in anecdotal moments, okay, believe that these things must be able to stop, and we must build this party. Let me just give you two anecdotal moments between me and Raila. On 24th of June 2024, a day before the Gen Z protest, and I'll give you references if you want to check. If you want to, I know you like fact checking. Baba Raila Amolo Odinga called me at 6 p.m. He had just come from Serena, and he was at a place called Karen Blixen. He invited me there that he needed to have a conversation with me. I went there, and I found a man troubled from inside. You know, Baba was charming, and when he calls you in a meeting, you will easily see like his face, you know, he's happy, but the man was burning in the inside. And he shared with me that these young people are very impressive, they're very determined, the Gen Zs, okay? And they have had this movement that is going on, and I've got intel also among them. He was the true bearer of raw intelligence, because Baba had his network in ways that you wouldn't understand, in the most grassroots places. I don't think there's any person in this country who had that kind of grassroots network with everybody and across generations. And tomorrow these young people will be going to the streets. Most likely they might even brave the rivers and want to get into parliament. But Eddy, we are tired of deaths. Because this thing could escalate to a point that we could even lose lives. How do we handle this issue? I'm telling you, sincerely, I cannot lie about my party leader. Baba sat with me from that 6 p.m. to around 12 a.m., trying to navigate how do we help Gen Zs go on with their course without losing lives. Okay? He ordered food at 12.
Wait. Before you go
Just wait.
I'm trying to connect between what I asked and
I'm coming to that.
what this story is. Where this story is heading.
Yeah, I'm coming to
We have
that.
a little time left.
Yeah, I'm coming to that. I'm also very keen on time. Around 12, he made a call to the MP, I think, of Embakasi West, and invited him to come sit with us. You can ask him. He ordered food as we were waiting for this gentleman to come. The gentleman came around 1 a.m. We sat with Baba until 3 a.m. trying to figure out how to democratically allow the Gen Zs to be able to express themselves without a loss of lives. And even in that sitting, a number of calls were made to make sure that we have got a country that is peaceful, yet very firm on some ideas that this party stands for. Okay? Fast forward, or fast backward, the last, Baba reminded at that meeting, because I was there. You know, a number of times we have gone to these streets where Mandamanos, Azimio, Ruto must go, all these things. There are times that some MPs will show up, even Nairobian MPs, show up at the good part when things are starting, but when things get escalated, people start dropping off. No, at no any given time did we not go with Baba until the end. The last Mandamano that Baba went to and that he almost died at in Kware, I was there. And the reason why we even turned is because of the way Baba saw. Because I was in Martha Karua's car, and then Baba was in front of us. The reason why Baba decided that now we must turn and go is because of the kind of violence that was being meted on journalists in front of him. And a number of young people, one of them called Odinga, who was trying to give us security, a young person who was hanging on our vehicle, and we could not allow him in because Martha Karua apparently was asthmatic, and that smoke could have given us a catastrophic
Senator,
issue.
land the point.
So, my point is this. The ODM ideals are not things that Sifuna is fighting for now. Baba has fought for these ideals for over time, given us a country that can make progress in terms of the democratic idea of the party. And it will be unfortunate if, because of personal survival and sometimes commercial interest,
If all of it goes...
Sifuna goes and kills this party.
Okay. For about a minute, I'll try and sample because there's a lot of feedback. And then we'll come back and try and wind it up. But yeah, this is a lot of feedback. I'm trying to see which one. So where to start? Eric Flash 2546. I thought he was to name the people who are not so loyal to Raila, but alas, he has stuck to Sifuna with commercialization. But he's commercial, but he's also struggling to be seen in what he's saying. Honorable Oketch, according to Sir Nixon Boro, are you an individual for ODM to field a presidential candidate, or are you going to support Ruto's re-election? Sema ukweli kutoke. I think that's something that Eric had tried to ask. And then we have others. And by the way, Mariam and Eric, if you spot any, feel free to come in. Don Sabo, the broad-based agreement has fully landed on commercial platform. Tumepata barabara, tumepata stima, tuko na mawaziri, which is what you, Senator Oketch, are now fighting for. Omenar Public, how are you protecting the party by allowing UDA honchos to talk to ODM? Senator, I always thought you were a brilliant fellow, but what is going on today? Honorable Sifuna, according to Alex Mayore, has the right to have free thoughts. He has the right to express himself, protected by the Constitution. He has a duty to speak for the voices in the party with a different view from the broad-based government. Okay. Yes, of course, a few people are saying we also want to hear the side of Senator...
Of course, Edwin Sifuna. As I listen to all this and the things that you're saying, there are very others here who have also asked a question, and I want to ask you directly. I get the sense that you fully and unequivocally support the broad-based arrangement.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
Is it because of personal gains?
Like what?
Same ones that you are alluding to others. Political survival, commercial, personal?
I'll answer them one by one. Political survival. Go check in history of Migori County. I was a senator elected by 317,000 votes out of the possible turnout of 341,000. I'm in a solid base to protect and to defend my seat without any broad-based arrangement. Fact, right? Number two, the broad-based arrangement that we are in was not a simple solution, was not a simple decision. You know, a simple decision and a very easy one that is very popular is to say the government of the day is not working for me, let me oppose it. That one is something that even if I did today, I will get a lot of clout, right? Which is what Sifuna is doing, and that's why I'm telling you that in Nairobi, that politics really makes sense to him, okay? But time without number, Raila Amolo Odinga also spoke in places that Sifuna spoke at, right? Funerals, he spoke in function, right? And he was very clear that this continued politicking between now and 2027 is injurious to our people. And our people for Raila has never been a people from one region. It's a people who are downtrodden and are not getting the value that government is supposed to give them.
Commercial.
And this is, wait first, this idea of development and inclusion is something that we must fight for and must be achieved by this government.
Commercial benefits?
Zero.
Zero commercial benefits?
Yes. Zero commercial benefit.
And you have not heard James Orengo talking about some members, some leaders in ODM who are, what did he say? Sort of
Selling
auctioning
the party.
the party. In fact, Ken Okonye is asking that.
Exactly, read that.
He says, Senator Eddy Oketch should be ashamed of himself for all this contradiction. He can't say that he has never heard Orengo say people have sold the party, yet he has heard Sifuna saying the things that he is saying you've said.
No, you know, if I haven't heard Orengo say something, you can't, you know, I mean, Orengo can come here and speak for himself, right? I cannot speak for Orengo. And you're not aware of
any other conversation that has taken place that alludes.
I even gave examples. I don't know whether the person was listening. I gave examples of Senator Soti. I gave examples of people like Caleb who have spoken about issues that might be different. I gave example of this dialogue was being called by even people who might be seen as voices of reason in the party, like Otiende Amolo. He has been speaking. Yes, true. My dear sister Millie Odhiambo. I gave these examples. True. Everybody's speaking in the party.
Final question.
Different things.
Final question.
But the firm issue is when Sifuna speaks, he confirms that every utterance that he makes is the party decision. That's the problem that I have.
So Edwin Sifuna is the mouthpiece of the party.
Yes.
Eddy Oketch is not.
Yes.
So I want to ask you as Eddy Oketch, now that you support broad-based fully,
yes,
do you think that in the next election, ODM should support William Ruto? In other words, let me ask this question more directly because I'd asked the other time. Is Eddy Oketch one term or two term?
I'm not simplistic in my reasoning.
No.
I'm not simplistic.
I'm asking. I want you to be
we have
simplistic.
30 seconds, Senator, before we wind up the
Please
show.
lower yourself to my level. No, just for this one.
No, I can't
ask you a very simple question.
I can't answer the question the way you want.
Please give me a very simple answer.
Yeah, the simplest answer is this:
two term or one term?
Where things stand right now, ODM party is in a coalition. I mean, a cooperation with the UDA in a broad-based government. And where things stand right now, we do not have any other formation that we can support for 2027. Okay. Other than the broad-based arrangement. Because if you simplify it as a UDA two-term, that is simplistic. That means that we don't have a stake in terms of what we champion ideologically for our people. But the thing is, broad-based government is an arrangement on itself, right? It's a coalition on itself in waiting.
We have to end it there. You have to understand the majority of people would probably ask what he's just asked and also want a simplistic answer.
Sure.
Yeah. So
he
at some point...
He's running away from this.
Senator Eddy Oketch,
he said yes. He said yes.
Senator Eddy Oketch, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I hope you will take heed of what Honorable Otiende Amolo and Millie Odhiambo have said. You need to resolve this without it being a public spectacle. I think that's just what needs to happen.
Absolutely. In the next 1 week,
yes, hopefully.
Even pass, right?
Beyond the Scale is the conversation that will be happening in the next hour on Your World, Redefining Health in the New Year, with Winnie Lubembe as the host. That is on NTV. And on Nation FM, we'll have Claudia Naisabwa and Brian Asali on Vibe Shift. This is Fixing the Nation, one conversation at a time. Janet Bogwa, Eric Latif, Mariam Bishar. We'll be back here tomorrow, God willing. Have a good day.